Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this grammar class on parallelism. So what is parallelism? When you write a sentence, somehow at times it does not make that sense. Something is wrong. We all can identify that yes, something is wrong, but we fail to understand what it is that is going wrong with the sentence. Where have we gone wrong? Because somewhere this is not there. Consistency is not there. So it's not just in writing, but also in speaking. Now look at my sentence. It's not just in writing, but also in speaking. Now consistency is there. But if I say it's not just in writing, but it is there in speaking also. So it is, if I used not just, it's not just in writing, but also in speaking. So this way, how we structure the sentence so that a parallel structure is there. Different items means whether it's the noun or the pronoun or the adjective or a verb, those different items in a sentence. If we have two verbs or three verbs, or maybe two nouns or two adjectives or three adjectives, different places, they should have consistency. There should be a parallel structure. So how will we understand today what this parallelism is? I'm going to share some sentences with you all. You'll have to identify what actually is wrong with it, right? So let's start with the first one. Think about it, because this sentence is not correct. So what is wrong with it?
I would rather prefer to shop at a mall than buying things from small shops.
So according to you, let me type that. I'm going to type your answers. Please dictate it to me.
I would rather shop at a mall.
Earlier you used the word prefer. Okay, I would rather shop at a mall, all right?
Rather than buying things from small shops.
So what have you changed?
I would prefer to, in place of I would prefer to, I was like, I would rather. In here, the rather is coming after mall.
Okay.
Then buy things, then buying things from small shops.
Okay, is there any other answer to it?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I would prefer to shop at mall than buying things from small shops. Ma'am, I'm saying I would prefer to shop at mall.
Okay, I'll copy this. What are the changes that you've made? You tell me those. At mall.
I would prefer to shop at mall than buying things, omitting the rather. I'm omitting rather from the sentence. I would prefer.
Okay. This is
to shop at mall than buying things from small shop. Yeah, correct.
All right. Any other option?
I prefer shopping at mall rather than. Sorry, I prefer shopping at mall than at small shops. I prefer shopping at mall than from small shops. Than from
small. Okay.
Than from small shops.
Another text box over here. Now let's understand what went wrong. Okay, Sai Kiran has also shared. Okay, Sai Kiran, I'm copying your answer. Thank you. And I'm going to share these thumb rules. Please remember and make a note of those thumb rules so that you do not make that kind of mistake. And when you start writing this kind of sentence, you should not waste time in thinking about it. Oh, what should I do? Is this correct? What has gone wrong in this sentence? Then I'll go to what you've given to me. What's wrong with this? Let me just explain that to you. I would prefer, all that is there, you prefer something, but then there is something over here, and that is rather than, right? That's what we have over here, rather than. So whenever you use this rather than expression, what should you do? This is what you need to remember. We require a parallel structure. So whenever this is used, whatever you have before rather than, similar structure is needed after it. So I would prefer to shop. There's not shopping, it's shop. Similar structure is needed here also. So instead of buying, it should be buy. I would prefer to shop at mall rather than buy things from small shops. Right? That's the thumb rule. Whenever you use rather than, I would like to stay here rather than go out. I would prefer to meet my friend rather than waste my time in something or doing something.
Okay, so that ing won't come. Is that
Yes,
the reason?
both. If you, both places similar structure. Now let me look at all these different answers that I've received, and I'll start with the last one here. I would prefer shopping in mall rather than buying things in small shops. At and in C both are prepositions. You can put it, but shopping and buying. Correct. So this parallel structure is there. Now I prefer shopping at mall rather than buying things from small shops. Fine. I would prefer shopping at mall rather than buying things at small shops. Okay. I would prefer shop at mall rather than buy. I would prefer to is needed. That is needed. I prefer
Okay,
shopping
ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
mall than from shops. Now here, it was not this. Here something is missing, right? This is not giving that complete sense. I would prefer to shop at mall rather than buy. Even if you put than, then also this ing should not be there. I would rather shop at a mall than buy things. Here also that is needed. So whenever you use rather than, please remember both sides should be parallel. Usually we go wrong with this. We think, oh no, like I would prefer to teach in a virtual classroom rather than, right? Rather than teaching the students somewhere else, or rather than teach the students somewhere else. So it should be rather than teach and not teaching. I hope this is clear to everybody.
So, ma'am, it is applicable
Yes,
for
ma'am.
both
Hello?
rather than and than, right?
All right, because here the word than, I would do this, than go there. No, rather is needed, right? Than do that. I would do this, than do that, than go there. Rather is needed. Without that, it sounds incomplete. That is needed. Than is for, than is maybe something is better than something else. That way we use,
Compare.
right? So there it may not be like this. This is better than the other thing. So here I'm using better, right? This is preferred to something else. So there we use to. But here this rule is for rather than, right? That's what we should do.
Can we use I would prefer to shop at
ing
mall rather to buy things from small shop?
Then buy things. I would prefer to, because you use the word prefer. I would prefer to shop at mall than buy things. You have used the word prefer, no? That's fine. I would prefer to do this than go there.
So basically, paralleling is that either we use ing at both the sides or we don't.
Correct, Ritu.
I have a doubt, ma'am.
Yes,
Prefer shopping. Actually, to shop to needed, right?
I would prefer shop at mall. I would prefer this, I would prefer that, right? So I would prefer shopping at a mall. Put it that way. Not I would prefer shop at mall, right?
So to is needed.
If you're putting shop, then to is needed. If shopping, you're putting,
Shopping means no need.
if you're putting shopping, then to is not needed. I would prefer shopping here than going there or than buying things from there.
Can we use rather to buy things from small shop?
Where, Karan? In which sentence?
Yeah, this I would prefer to shop at mall rather to buy things from
No,
small
no,
shop.
rather than,
Okay.
rather than. For example, I would maybe I like listening to music rather than doing something else, rather than reading books.
Okay. Okay.
So both places ing.
Okay.
So I would prefer to shop at mall rather than buy things
I think
from
from
small
small
shops.
shop. Clear.
Let's look at this.
Okay.
So all of you think about it now. This is something that I've taken from one of the
It is believed
last
that
two answers
children
that I
should
received.
May I,
It
ma'am?
is believed that children should be taught how to compete and should be encouraged to be goal oriented, or and encouraged to be goal oriented.
Should be taught how to compete and
Encouraged to be goal oriented.
encouraged to be goal oriented. Okay. So one,
Even I have the same answer.
you also have the same answer. All right. Yes, somebody else, please. Now let's look at them. Okay. So here it says children should be taught how to compete and encouraged to be goal oriented. After should be taught, you've got this how to compete. This is also there. Should be taught how to compete. This has been included. So, and something is needed over here. They should be taught how to compete and encouraged to be goal oriented. Should be is needed. Should be is needed. Because here it is believed that you started with that children should be taught how to compete and encouraged to be goal oriented. That is needed.
Okay, because I saw a and in between, I thought should be, again repeating shouldn't be there.
Okay. So and encouraged to be.
Okay, it's just that the they you would take out because it's already there.
Okay, we'll come back to that. It is believed that children should be taught how to compete and encourage. Now this is wrong. How to compete and encourage. So they are not taught how to compete and encourage someone, right? So whosoever gave this is wrong. It has to be with D. It is believed that children should be taught how to compete and encouraged to be goal oriented, like the first one. Children should be taught how to compete and encourage them. So whosoever is given this, encourage them? No, they should be encouraged. They should be taught and encouraged. These two things are there. It is believed, but why we require something over here? Because this is the way the structure is, how to compete. So these are two different clauses. Parallelism is missing in the two clauses. We've got two clauses. What's a clause? We've got words, phrases, and clauses. I think some of you were not there when I taught clauses. For example, let's say children. Children is one word. And if I say good children, that's a phrase. Taught. This is a clause. It has got a verb also in it. It makes proper sense. Maybe I was a bit softer. I'll repeat. We call this clause and clause parallelism. Now, what's a clause? If I say goal, goal is one word. Goal oriented is a phrase. Goal oriented is a phrase. And then if I say that we should be goal oriented, this is a clause. Children should be taught. This is also a clause. It's a clause that gives us a sentence. If there are more clauses in a sentence, then they should be parallel. There should be a parallel structure. Here we have got clauses, but the parallel structure is missing. Let me look at the other two also. It is believed that children should be taught how to compete and encouraged to be goal-oriented. Children should be taught how to compete and be encouraged. Now, Because how to compete in between this phrase has come. Should be taught how to compete and encourage, something is needed. So when you put another clause over here, and they should be encouraged, it is believed that, and that, these two things are believed by some people, right? So it is believed that children should be taught how to compete and that they should be encouraged to be goal oriented. Two things are believed. Both of them are different.
We'll have to take care of punctuation here somewhere, I guess.
No punctuation after and you just put that.
Can that and they come like, and that they should be,
So you
and
do
this
not
should be
require a
goal-oriented.
comma after that.
Excuse
And
me?
that there should be no comma after that.
Okay, so it'll go in one go, the whole sentence.
Yes, it is believed that, here also no comma.
Mm.
Children should be taught how to compete and that they should be encouraged, no comma over here in between.
Okay.
Right?
The whole sentence is without a comma or any punctuation mark.
It is without a comma.
Okay, ma'am.
If at all you require a comma, where can it come? Let's understand where can it come. It is believed. What is believed? One thing, that children should be taught how to compete, and before and you can have a comma, but not after and.
Okay.
Two
But that
diff-
is that we may or may not use the comma here.
Yes.
Okay.
And that they should be, right? You can have a comma here. When we join two independent clauses using these coordinating conjunctions, then you put a comma before the conjunction, coordinating conjunction.
Okay.
Coordinating conjunctions are all these, and what you all have got grammar notes. In your grammar notes, the clauses and their fanboys, all these conjunctions.
Fanboys, yeah.
Right? Yes, there was somebody who wanted to say something. Chris.
Ma'am, should be necessary or
Yes.
second one after.
Yes, it should be there. And should be there. And that they should be encouraged. It is believed. What is believed? It is believed that children should be encouraged to be goal-oriented.
Okay, when we put should be at both the places, then it becomes a parallel one. Because
yes.
It is, okay.
Right? Like she said that, or maybe our teacher, if you talk about your favorite teacher during your school days in speaking. So my teacher maybe taught us that this, and that if you are going to include another clause over there, right? So both clauses should be parallel. That's the way it should be. Like I told you that the clauses should be parallel in a sentence, and that we should take care of the structure, the sentence structure.
Okay.
Ma'am,
yes.
Could you give another example for this?
Definitely. Okay, let's say Priya said that another sentence is needed to make the concept clear. And that I should type it here, right? Let's assume two clauses. So Priya said that another sentence is needed to make the concept clear, and that I should type it here. If
okay, cool.
The word that, then no parallel structure. Without, and I should type it here? No. Right? This is needed to have a parallel structure. Is it clear now?
Yes.
The rule. What is the rule that you're going to remember now? If you have 2 or 3 clauses And the first one starts with that. Like it is believed that, it is often said that, it is opined that. And you're going to include two things over there, three things over there, different clauses, like those mini sentences. Then please include that before each clause. It is opined that, okay, it is opined that, maybe if we talk about globalization, right? It is opined that globalization has benefited both individuals and countries, and that it is booming the world's economy, right? So it is opined that. So one and then the next one. Is it clear to everybody now with all these examples? So whenever you have two clauses or three, usually you have two, that's what I've noticed. And if you put that before the first one, like it is opined that, it is believed that, or some people believe that, some say that, then the next clause should also start with that. This is what you need to remember. It's that and that clause parallelism. Now what is wrong with this? Oh, there's one word missing over here. I'm so sorry for that. I'm fond of. Of should come. I'm fond of reading, listening to music, and I love to play outdoor games.
I'm fond of reading, listening to music, and playing outdoor games.
Okay. Somebody else? I need one more answer at least.
I love to playing outdoor games.
You said, and I love to playing outdoor games. After two, you won't put playing because it's love to. That's an infinitive that you. I love what? I love this. So you require an infinitive over there. To play, it has to be to.
We will remove two from there. I am fond of reading, listening to music, and I love playing outdoor games.
And I love playing, because if you put playing, then you remove that. So either you say I love to play or you say I love playing. Okay. I've got some in the chat box. Also, this time I'm not bringing them here. I'm fond of, Shubham has given, I'm fond of reading, listening to music, and I love playing outdoor games. So instead of I love to play, you've changed it to I love playing. Okay, another is, this time let me just read out all the answers. I'm fond of reading, listening to music, and love playing outdoor games. I'm fond of reading, listening to music, and playing outdoor games. Then another one, I'm fond of reading and listening to music, and I love to play outdoor games. Okay, these are two different ones. Let me bring both of them here. Sometimes we wonder that English is pretty good. Why still at 6.5? Or maybe 7, not going beyond 7. So I'm fond of reading, listening to music, and playing outdoor games. Correct. Parallel structure. I'm fond of what? Reading.
Oh.
Right? You've got a gerund over here, ing form. Listening to music, correct. And playing outdoor games and playing. So reading, listening, playing. Parallel structure.
Is it possible to omit a whole word like she's omitted love? So can we just leave it, or we can write that I am
Wouldn't that be a repetition?
Love to play out, because it is
yes.
fond
Now you have
love.
to say.
No, if we write love again, if we include it would again be a repetition, right? It's already said as fond of.
Right.
No, there is a difference between fond and love. I am fond of so many things, but I love one.
So, but then that's the wrong way of putting it.
Correct, Christy.
So we cannot say I'm loving to play. and playing outdoor games. One way of saying it. Now let's look at the next one. I'm fond of reading and listening to music, and I love to play outdoor games. Now, what has happened in this sentence is and has come over here. I'm fond of, so that same sense, you love something, same sense can be conveyed like this also. I'm fond of reading and listening to music. You're fond of this. Put a comma over here. Because and is, I'm fond of reading and listening to music, and I love to play outdoor games. Then this will be correct. Because they're two separate things. I'm fond of A and B, and I love to playing. But then what is wrong over here now? This is wrong. Instead of playing, it should be I love to play. Or you say I love playing, and I love playing outdoor games, or I love to play outdoor games. You cannot say I love to playing outdoor games. That was wrong with this sentence.
But ma'am, there is no parallelism in playing, play or playing.
There is no parallelism
in play.
Yeah, ing play.
Hold on. Now here you are connecting two different independent. You're connecting two independent clauses. One sentence is this: I love to play outdoor games. Another is I'm fond of reading and listening to music. If you put "and" over here, it becomes a totally different one then. So I'm fond of reading and listening to music, one independent clause, one simple sentence. Another is I love to play outdoor games. This is another sentence. You make it a compound one by adding these two simple sentences. If you use a coordinating conjunction in between, that's it. So when you use a coordinating conjunction, you put a comma before that. And I love to play outdoor games. This is different. Here there is no and in between. I'm fond of reading, listening to music. No, I'm fond of A, B, and C. That's the way it is. Right? I'm fond of A, B, and C. So after and, similar thing is needed. But what she has done is she's put I'm fond of A and B, and I love this also. So this is a different sentence structure. What I gave to you was a different one. But in this one, what went wrong was that playing was put over here. Okay, I've got a few more sentences over here. Ritu has put I'm fond of reading, listening to music, and love playing outdoor games. No, Ritu. If you put it like this, then parallel structure is not there. Let me bring it here. I'll just have another text. This is what you've given to me. I'm fond of reading, listening to music, and love playing outdoor games. No. So here I'm fond of A, B, and so this C is not parallel. It's something like I'm fond of A, B, and then one. A different thing is there. So then in this case, it should be and playing. Just see the difference between this and the other sentence. I'm fond of reading and listening to music, and then you're putting something else. Have I made myself clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? Like suppose you ask your friend to take care of your maybe pet dog in your absence. You're going out somewhere and you ask your friend, you write a letter to your friend maybe, or your cousin or anybody to take care of your pet dog. So please, or my dog is, right? My dog is fond of, or my dog loves to eat biscuits. Then what else? Who has a pet dog can contribute. So my dog loves to eat biscuits.
Pedigree.
It's non
Pedigree? Biscuits, whatever. My dog loves to eat biscuits, bread.
Fruits.
Oh, really? And fruits. So my dog loves to eat biscuits, bread, and fruits. And it loves to go for long walks. So it likes to eat A, B, and C. And now when I put and over there, then something else. It loves to go for long walks.
Okay, we are using and twice.
And second time you are adding something else after that, a different thing.
Okay.
Right? That's how it is. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Who's asked me? Now, where is yours, Mitu? I haven't seen. Okay, I'm fond of reading, listening to music, and love to play outdoor games. No. And playing outdoor games. Let me just, if so much confusion is still there, let me explain it once again. Here. Because I've again received this sentence. I'm fond of reading, listening to music, and so A, B, and C. So it should be and playing. Either you put it this way, and playing outdoor games, or you, so 1, 2, and 3, all are similar, or A, B, and C. Now here it can be this way also. I'm fond of reading, listening to music, and love to play. No, I'm fond of reading and listening to music. So when you put this and, place a comma before it. This is something different now you're adding. And I love to play. Right? So whatever way you structure, just take care of parallelism. Parallel structure is needed.
I'm fond of reading, listening, and music. It is right or no?
No, you cannot say I'm fond of reading, listening, and music.
Ma'am, is it like always listen to music like that?
You always listen to something. Listen to something.
I listen to you. I
Okay.
listen to music like that, no?
Okay.
That's the way it is.
Okay. Okay.
Right? This way or the way we discussed. So what's wrong with this one? So remember there, the parallelism, like everywhere you have gerunds or infinitive. If I take you to the previous one, just as I love to read, listen to music, and play outdoor games. That was another one. We'll discuss it later on, if somebody had that in mind. Let's come to this. This kind of step can not only lead to increased influx of cash into these countries, but also the doors for more employment opportunities will be opened.
But also open the doors for more employment opportunities.
Okay. Right, Deepak? Anybody else? Any other answer?
Ma'am, in these countries, rather into.
Influx going from one into another. So influx of cash into these countries.
Ma'am, into we did it like when we go from one surface to some depth.
No.
Is it like
into these countries? It's fine. In also can be put, but into is better. Correct way. Yes. Okay, this kind of step can not only lead to increased influx of cash into these countries, but also open. So I have received this answer from two of you. Deepak also said the same thing. Anyone else?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, Persis?
Ma'am, this kind of step cannot only lead to increased influx of cash into these countries, But also the doors for more employment opportunities can be opened.
So why I won't accept what Persis has said? I'm going to accept what Priya has sent me or what Deepak told me initially. Why? Let's understand that. Let me write what Priya has sent, because this is what even Deepak said. If you look at this sentence, first part is in active voice. This kind of step can not, okay, forget about that active and passive also, can not only. Remember this rule now. Not only and but also. We use these not only but also, right? It helped me not only to do, it helped me to not only do this but also do that. So this kind of she's not only intelligent but also hardworking, something of this kind. So the parallelism rule is that when you have these two correlative, they are correlative conjunctions, not only but also. Okay, Christy, just
this kind of step can not only lead to increased influx of cash into this country, but can also open the doors for more employment opportunities. So twice can would come to for that parallel.
Not needed, but what you said after also was absolutely correct.
This kind of step this kind of step can not only lead to increased influx of cash into these countries, but also open doors for more employment opportunities.
Right now, yeah, same what I've received earlier. Now let me just explain one thing to everybody. I've got 3 correct answers, not just one. So whenever you have this not only but also, when you use them, please remember whatever you put here, similar thing is needed here also. So here if it is not only lead, then here also it should be verb. So not only lead to, but also open. That's why this is correct. 3 of you have given me this correct answer.
Was I correct, ma'am?
Ritu, did you send me your answer? What did you say?
I just said it. I didn't type it. This kind of step can not only lead to increased influx of cash into this country, but can also open doors for more employment opportunities.
That can be fine, but can second time over here is redundant. You need not use it, right? Not necessary, not required.
Can we omit can and just write this kind of step not only lead to increased influx of cash into the country, but
Then
also
it will be a
open
different one, Haran. Then you see this kind of step not only leads to increase,
okay, yeah.
about a fact, right? Which is true. Then we are looking at a possibility.
Okay.
The meaning changes.
Yeah.
To increased influx, but also doors for no. Please understand a very simple rule for this, right?
Ma'am,
most of you must.
how important is the comma over here? Is it okay if we omit it?
No, you should.
Oh, okay.
Okay, let's look at this. Not only, but also. After not only, if you put a noun or pronoun, that is somebody or something, right? Noun or pronoun. You understand what pronoun is? He, she, it, all these are pronouns. Then after but also, you should put the same thing. So whatever you put after not only, similar structure is needed after this also. Similarly, here you put.
Could you give
Example.
an example here for noun?
I'll give you an example. So not only Shobhit, but also Priya gave me the correct answer. Both places now, right?
Yeah.
Now, Shobhit is, what do you do, Shobhit, if I may ask you?
So I work as a IT professional.
You work as a
IT professional.
IT professionals, right? Maybe you're doing something else also, right? So Shobit is not only an IT professional, but also a writer, correct? You are not only this, but also that. So both places we put the same thing sometimes.
Yeah.
After not only if I put adjective, right? Adjective can be a describing word. So Shobit is not only assiduous. Assiduous means hardworking, right? Or let me put diligent. Huh? Shobit is not only diligent, but also, what other quality do you have?
Smart.
But also smart.
Prompt.
What did you say? Prompt. You said prompt, right? Okay, but also any quality that you put. So both places we've got adjectives, right? So, he answered me not only quickly but also correctly, right? So when I put it like this, he answered me not only promptly but also correctly. So both places we have adverbs, promptly, correctly. This is what the parallel structure is, right? Unemployment is increasing not only because of automation, but also because of some other reason. Both places parallel structure. Because of this, but also because of that, right? This is not only about, okay, coronavirus, right? Has spread, or coronavirus has affected people
Cannot only to the
not only in
inclusion.
China, but also across the world. So in China and then across. So in is preposition, across is also preposition. Then both places you have, but also in the whole world. So both places you have prepositions then. Clear to everybody? Whenever you use not only, but also, remember the parallel structure. Both places use the same thing. Understood now, everyone? Any doubt?
Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Because when I said any doubt, if you say yes, ma'am, then that means the doubt is still there. Okay, thank you. Continue. Right? Can not only lead to increased influx, but also open the doors. And 3-4 of you gave me the correct answer. So not only lead, you got the word lead, but also open. Both places you have verb. What about this? Anything wrong? And before you think of that, the rule of the conditional, that if is correct over here. Why? Because in the if clause, you've got present simple tense, and here you've got can. So if clause has present simple tense, the main clause can have can, will, may. It's correct then. So it's correct according to the rule of the conditional clauses. But still something is wrong with it. And what is that?
If his parents can encourage and give liberty, his dreams can be fulfilled.
Then also it'll be the same thing, right? But in if clause, can, may, and will, right? In the
If his parents will encourage and give liberty, his dreams can be fulfilled.
okay. Please remember one thing. No, you are making it wrong the other way. Please remember in this if clause, I don't know if, right? In the if clause, we cannot use will, may, can. Please remember, if you work hard, let me give a very simple example. If you work hard, you will perform better, or you can perform better, or you may perform better. If you worked hard, you would perform better. If you had worked hard, you would have performed better. But in all these three conditionals, we cannot have can, may, would, might, all these in the if clause. This is an if clause. So please do not try to put can, will, may, etc. over here. That will make it all the more.
Ma'am, so this is incorrect then. So if you can do this job, something like that,
Go ahead. If you can do this job,
then you will be successful.
if you can do this job, you'll be successful. If you can do this job, that way, that is correct. That is correct.
Ma'am, can we say if his parents encourage him and give him liberty, his dreams can be fulfilled?
Still, it'll be wrong. Why? Let's understand. Two clauses. Again, it's that clause and clause parallelism.
Ma'am, can it be if his parents encourage and give him liberty, his dreams can be fulfilled?
Then also, Ritu, if you notice, the first clause has active voice in it, and the second one has passive voice in it.
Okay.
There is something called as voice parallelism. I hope you all are familiar with active voice and passive voice.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Let's have one example. Anyone? Example of active and passive voice?
Like Rahul drink.
Nana is doing this work, and this work was done by Nana.
Yeah.
This work
Manna
is
was
done
doing
by
this work, and no, Manna did this work, and this work was done by Manna. Okay,
Right.
Dipin, you were also about to say something. What was it, Dipin?
Ma'am, like Rahul drink juice. Juice is drunk by Rahul.
Okay, so you all are familiar with active and passive voice.
Yeah.
If you look at the first one, if his parents encourage and give liberty, encourage him, of course, and give liberty. This is an active voice. And the second part, his dreams can be fulfilled, is in passive voice. So how should it be? If his parents encourage and give liberty,
He can fulfill his dreams.
perfect. He can fulfill his dreams. That's the way it should be. So this is voice parallelism. Please remember. Difficult to catch, but yes, this is also considered. This is what we call voice parallelism. So there is
Can you just write this correct one?
Yes, Ritu?
Can you just please type the correct one?
Yes, here it is. If his parents encourage and give liberty, he can fulfill his dreams.
Got it, ma'am.
So we have pre-intermediate level of grammar, intermediate level of grammar, right? Then we get around 6, 6.5. Then intermediate also, again, around 6, 6.5 that way, 7. You move beyond 7.5, or you get 7.5 when you start using correct sentences according to advanced level of grammar. So in that particular criterion, because there are 4 criteria, so in that one, you get more score only when you overcome this kind of errors also.
Ma'am, then I think we need to have more classes on grammar. Otherwise, my test is on 21st of March.
See, you don't have to worry about it that we need more classes or not. You have to understand what your weaker area is.
Mm-hmm. So grammar seems to be weaker for me. That's why I'm saying.
So in grammar, what is it? In grammar, what is it? Is it the tenses? Is it the modifiers which are not able to place correctly? Is it parallelism?
Parallelism, punctuation for that matter.
Punctuation, right? Is it that? Okay, so what I'm going to do is, of course, in classes you all are doing, everybody is doing that. I'll create one doc that will be shared with you. We also have a blog on punctuation. Please go to learning site. You'll find a blog on punctuation. It's already there, right? It's there. And if you visit our library on Facebook, And there are plenty of videos on different grammar topics. So you need not wait for all those classes. You can view the recordings.
Okay, we can just go there and take a class
Yes.
for punctuation. Okay.
I've shared the link in all the groups. You can just go there and watch the video, right?
Okay. Thank you so much.
That is there. And punctuation, then I'll create one video and like to share it next week only, something on punctuation, right? You all can understand.
Okay, ma'am. Thanks.
Let's look at this again. What's making it wrong? That different items are not matching in this.
In my opinion, this is a bad thing for them because it trains their subconscious mind to always follow trends instead of creating them.
Good. And let's take Navia's answer now, this time. This is the only error. Good, Navya. Do you notice this? This is a common error, but please remember, in my opinion, this is a bad thing for them. Here you have them. Suddenly, how can we have your? So it trains their subconscious mind to always follow trends instead of creating them. So if it's them over here, then it's there. Otherwise, also, another thing to remember in your essays, please do not use the word you, your. Try to use one, once. That's a better way of putting your points. When you have to talk about like the way the people achieve something or how one should behave. So instead of saying how you should behave or how you should achieve this, how one can achieve this or how one should. So this was the error, only error. Instead of your, it should be there. It trains their subconscious mind. Okay, with there, a common error is that of spelling. So what spelling should we put over here? Navya, since you gave the answer, please give the spelling also.
T-H-E-I-R.
T-H-E-I-R.
Yeah.
And not T-H-E-R-E. That should not be there. Right, Shikha? Yours is also correct. Okay, I got another answer from someone. Oh, let me read these also then. If it's no, that was the previous one. Okay, not this. So here it's only there. Let's move on to the next one then. I'm sure you all must have written, most of you, except for one or two who have enrolled only this week. Globalization is a powerful tool to accelerate the growth of developing countries and in bringing them closer to developed nations.
And to bring them closer.
And bring them closer.
Correct. I hope you remember now. Any other way of correcting it?
For accelerating and in bringing, we can say.
Then both places like accelerate for accelerating and in bringing them closer. Fine.
Ma'am, make it a compound sentence.
How, Deepak?
Ma'am, we can put a comma before and.
No, but then also it will not be a compound sentence. You require a subject also for that. Because it's a powerful tool. It's a powerful tool to do two things. One is to accelerate the growth of developing countries. Second thing is to bring them closer to developed nations. So globalization is a powerful tool to accelerate the growth of developing countries and bring them closer to developed nations. Need not repeat the word to. But yes, okay, can you think of something else also? Over here, if you have three things to accelerate the growth of developing countries, and then to boom their economies, and to bring them closer to developed nations. So either you put to in all the cases, or you put only at the beginning. right? So to accelerate the growth of developing countries and bring them closer, and to bring them closer, that's also fine. When there are just two, only two items are there, at two places only you're putting the infinitive, then to accelerate and bring would be fine. But if you're putting three elements, I gave you this example, let me type that. If I put it like this, to accelerate, right? And the second thing is to accelerate the growth of developing countries, and then to boom in their economies, and no comma, and to bring. So if you've got three items like this, right? To accelerate, to boom, to bring. Either you put two before all three, or you do not put two before the second and the third. If you put it like this, to accelerate the growth of developing countries, boom the economies, boom their economies, and to bring them, then the sentence will be wrong. No parallelism. So in that case, then you should remove it here also. First is to accelerate the growth of developing countries, boom their economies, and bring them closer to developed nations. Remember this, please. Either you put two before each, or you put it only at the beginning. You cannot do it that you put it for two of them and do not put it for the third one. Right? If you've got three items, and just for two of them, you can place it before the first one. There's no need to place it before the second one. But if you put it, it's not going to be wrong. So let's look at the correct sentence.
Won't there be a comma before boom?
No, because 1, 2, and 3. So why? Comma is not needed, right? Is this clear to everybody? Yes, no, then okay. You've got 4 sentences over here. Think of your answers. I'm giving you all 2 minutes. Let me time you all. You need to correct the parallelism error in all these. Keep your answers ready, then we'll look at them one by one. And let me ask you. Okay, Ritu, you've raised your hand. Give the correction for the first one.
Motivating women to strive and make a living for themselves is as important as to teach them to take a pride in who they are.
So the correction.
Take a pride.
No, we cannot say a pride. Pride is not a countable noun. It's an uncountable noun. So before uncountable noun, you do not put a unless you put adjective before it. Like news is uncountable. So this is news to me. But if I put good, this is a good news for us.
Ma'am, is as important as in teaching them?
As in teaching. Why are you putting in before teaching?
Okay.
Yeah, I can try. Motivating women to strive and make a living for themselves is as important as teaching them to take pride in who they are.
Tomorrow is Women's Day, right? Yes, Divya, you
can take pride in their self.
One by one.
We can do like motivating women to strive and make a living for themselves is as important as to teach them and take pride in who they are, rather than putting two. Can you put and?
No.
Will it be like? Will it be teaching them?
Yes, Ritu.
Teaching them.
I'm teaching them.
Only correction, yeah.
Divya raised her hand, but she did not speak. Yes, Divya, what is it that you wish to say?
Motivating
Ma'am, I
women.
wanted to say the same thing. living for themselves is as important as teaching them to take pride in who they are.
Yeah.
So motivating women to strive and make a living for themselves is as important as
Teaching them.
as to take pride, as teaching them.
women to strive and make a living for themselves is as important as now parallel structure with what? Please understand.
And themselves and their self.
See now motivating. Look at this now. Motivating is as important as something else. What is motivating? It's a gerund, ing form of verb used as noun. Parallel structure is needed with this. Motivating women to strive and make a living for themselves is as important as what?
Teaching.
As important as teaching.
Teaching.
That's what I told, ma'am. Teaching.
Yes. I got the correct answer, but I got the wrong ones also, right? As important as teaching them.
Teaching them.
Clear to everybody? You need to understand
ma'am.
parallel structure is needed where? Like, what is it that you need to make parallel? So motivating and teaching, right? These are the two things. Let's move on to the second one. And okay, 3 participants have, this time you raise your hands. I think that'll be better. Let's do as if you are in the classroom.
Yeah, ma'am,
First,
correct me if I'm wrong.
who
So
is that?
Shobit.
Shobit, yes, Shobit.
Some prefer family heritage and association, while other prioritize the individuality.
Ma'am,
Yes, Persis.
Yeah.
Yes, Persis.
some prefer family heritage and association, while some prefer individuality prioritized by others. Individuality is prioritized by others.
Some prefer family heritage and association, while others prioritize individuality.
All right. Now I'm going to ask Shobit to repeat his answer again. He was the first one and he gave it correctly. Yes, Shobit, repeat your answer, please.
Some prefer family heritage and association, while other prioritize the individuality.
While others, not other, others prioritize. So do you notice the first one is in active voice,
Active.
the second is in passive voice. So some prefer family heritage and association, while others prioritize individuality. So both should be in active voice. Or you can say family heritage and association is preferred by some, while individuality is prioritized by others. Put both in passive voice. Essay writing should have some sentences in passive voice also, but don't mix up like this, active and passive. We have passive voice in formal writing. So include sentences in passive voice, but do not mix up the two, active and passive voice in the same sentence. I hope this is clear. So 2 ways of putting it. One, some prefer family heritage and association, while others prioritize individuality. Or family heritage and association are preferred by some, while individuality is preferred by others or prioritized by others, either in active or in passive. Okay, let's look at the third one. And who would like to answer? I've got hands going up. Yes, Shikha?
Yeah, well, advancement in transportation and the way buildings are constructed are drastically affecting the natural land and leading to, and lead to disturbing the wildlife habitat.
Ma'am, advancement in transportation and the way buildings are constructed are drastically affecting the natural land and are leading to disturbance of wildlife habitat. Are leading would come.
And are leading to.
Yeah.
Let's look at it now. Yes, Karan, what do you have to say?
Advancement in transportation, the way buildings are constructed, are drastically affecting the natural land, leading to disturbance of wildlife habitat.
You're made leading to.
Yeah.
Remember, leading to that kind of thing. Oh,
Or can we just put disturbing the wildlife habitat and skip the lead to?
all right. Step by step, we'll go in this sentence, huh? Advancement. I've taken these sentences, by the way, from the essays of those students who moved on to get 7 band score. One odd one got 7.5. I've taken these from their essays. You've got some examples, so I've taken them from theirs. So advancement in transportation and look at this now, advancement in transportation, and don't we require a parallel structure here too? You cannot have a phrase and a clause. It has to be a phrase and phrase, 1 and 2, A and B. So advancement in transportation and
In the way.
why in advancement? What can it be?
And in
construction of buildings,
yeah.
right? And different ways of constructing building anyway, and the construction of buildings. So advancement in transportation and the construction of buildings are drastically affecting the natural land, and so are drastically affecting. So with affecting now, this has to match, and leading to disturbance of wildlife habitat. Are affecting and leading. Are is the helping verb over here. So are affecting the natural land and leading to disturbance of wildlife habitat. And here, advancement in transportation and the construction of buildings. Two things are drastically affecting the natural land.
Should we put leading to the disturbance of wildlife habitat?
Leading to the disturbance of, yes, we should.
Okay.
Also, there should be an S after advancement, right?
Advancement, no, not needed. Advancement is fine.
Then shouldn't it be is advancement in transportation and construction is drastically affecting?
No, but there are two things. One is advancement in transportation, and construction of buildings is another thing, right? So A and B, two different things are there. They are.
Achha, okay.
It's not just the advancement in transportation, but also the construction of buildings. So both of them. Okay, let's look at the last one. Of course, this by mistake, I gave this as an example earlier. Unemployment is increasing, not only, yes, because of automation of jobs, but
also population explosion or something.
But population is also a major contributor. So,
but also unemployment is increasing not only because of automation of jobs, but also because of major contribution in population.
But also because of population.
Okay.
Right? But also because of population increase or population growth, anyway you can put it. So not only because of, but also because of that.
So can we skip the last line as major contributor and all that?
You decide what you have to write.
Okay.
So will you be
can we say that unemployment is increasing not only because of automation, but also because of increasing population?
A growing population. So not only because of this, but also because of that, both places you have parallelism. So let's quickly sum up parallelism rules. One is that you should have similar items. Noun, you see in what form you put the nouns. Ing form of, sometimes those ing form of verbs are there, or 2 plus V1, that participle are there. Take care of those things also. Take care of the clause parallelism. Then voice parallelism, active voice or passive voice, look at that. And then rather than, commonly used phrase, you should be careful while using that. Another is look at the parallelism of different pronouns in the sentence. So suddenly you should not become one or we, it should all be parallel. And of course, not only but also commonly used one. Should be careful with this too. Any question, anyone? I hope this is clear to you, a new dimension of grammar, parallelism.
So, is this slide deck available?
One by one. Yes, Shobit, what did you ask me?
So, is the slide deck available for
This
us?
will be available to you. Like this is going to be there on Facebook. Today, this class is delivered on Facebook. You can view it over there. Then it will be in the form of video in your library on Facebook. You can view it as many times as you want.
Thank you.
You might have other questions also related to IELTS. You'll get the answers of all those in that library. There are plenty of videos there. All
The
right.
Facebook page of
Yes, yes. I shared the link with you all in your groups. If you wish, I can share it again. It's there in all the groups. Yes, Navya, do you want to ask me something?
No, ma'am, I was about to ask the same question. Do we have the previous classes links?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
You just go to that. It's we have our library on Facebook, right? And plenty of videos are there.
For live online IELTS classes by expert instructors, log on to unolearning.com.